To distill is defined in the Merriam-Webster's dictionary as to let fall, exude, or precipitate in drops or in wet mist. To purify or transform, in parentheses, a liquid by successive evaporation and condensation. To subject to or transform by distillation. To obtain as or by or as if by distillation, or to extract the essence of, to concentrate. For me, to dance is to fall with style. So this is distillation dance number one. I've been off for a while, dipped off for a little bit, lived a lot, learned a lot. And this was one of maybe many, maybe few. But I'll pass this on as best as possible, so if those who want to know will know. Economics is, simply put, warfare. Now, if you think about it for a second, you're going, this dude's crazy. He doesn't know what he's talking about because economics is not exactly warfare. I mean, warfare is guns and knives and, people losing things and death everywhere. But I'm going to pose several circumstances to you, and you tell me whether or not these are acts of war. I am going to starve your children. I'm going to make your children suffer hunger pains, go to bed at night unable to eat. Is that an act of war? Yes or no? Better yet, you have your mother, and I'm going to stop you from getting the care that she needs. Let's say whatever age she is, but she needs a certain degree of care. I'm going to stop you from getting that care that she needs, whether it be from a doctor or a dentist or, hell, even if she needs therapy. I'm going to stop that. Is that an act of war? Well, maybe not. Maybe it is. Or better yet, I'm going to threaten everything you own. I'm going to threaten to take away the vehicle that you have. I'm going to threaten to take away the roof over your head. I am going to threaten to prevent you from bailing yourself out of jail. Is it war yet? Think carefully as you live. The majority of us do not understand that we are in a state of constant war. Now, I have a question for you. If I told you that I was going to kill your children, prevent them from eating, right? What would you do to feed your child if you had a child? Most people would say, well, I'd do anything. Yes. Some people would even go so far as to steal, kill, or die to protect their children. Is it war yet? Well, interestingly enough, what if I said that you would have to give me years of your life just to make sure that your child would be able to eat? I was going to take, I don't know, let's say 8 hours a day, 5 days a week, 40 hours a week away from your life just so that you could feed your children. Is it war yet? Maybe, maybe not. But I want you to stop and think. If you would do anything to prevent your children from going hungry, anything to get your children the medical care they need, You would even go so far as to sell your life just to make sure that you kept a roof over your head, or better yet, sell your body. Is it war yet? Are you a slave? Well, no, you're not a slave because it's a choice, right? Well, there are choices made every day. Think about this. By means of economics, certain countries start and end wars. And this is done by way of sanctions and trade embargoes. And, we spoke about a trade war in the economic realm recently. But it's no different to your everyday life. Because at the threat of gunpoint, oh, wait, not gunpoint. No, 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 it's worse than gunpoint. Because if you get shot, well, generally speaking, you go to the hospital, somebody patches you up, right? But at the threat of homelessness, yes, that's the biggest threat America can offer you, right? Homelessness, pain, jail time. At these threats, you are said you go to an employer, they give you, I don't know, $7 an hour, $10 an hour, $15 an hour, $50 an hour for your life that you can never get back. And oh, by the way, if you don't do these things, if you don't acquire this thing we call money, you lose everything. That roof over your head. Oh, that's right. It's your house that you're. Think about something that your parents or your family has worked their entire lives to pass down to you. Let's say that you have a house in your family. This is actually a diminishing thing, right? Let's say there's a house in your family. They spent 30 years of their lives working to put a roof over your head, one that shouldn't be able to be taken away from you. And yet, if you don't pay the taxes on that land, the property taxes or the federal taxes or the taxes, whatever it is, at the threat of gunpoint, right? Because there's always a police officer really willing to escort you. If you don't pay, you can't even keep what is owned by you. Is it war yet? Think for a moment. Live. Understand. War is constant. When you apply for a job, yes, that's right, you apply for a job. It may not be something as harsh as, being kicked out of your house because you haven't paid the. Well, actually, no. That's the constant threat, whether it be rent, whether it be property tax. But yeah, let's say at the threat of homelessness, you go to apply for a job. They look at you, right? And they, at the end of the day, determine whether or not you even get the job. That's right. Someone else looking across from you at the table or in some back HR office is looking at you, questioning whether or not they should give you the ability to feed your family. And that person, do they even view you as a human being at that point? Or are they viewing you as potential labor, someone who can achieve their goals for them? They look at your qualifications, and it's not necessarily whether or not you can do the job. It's whether or not you fit the qualifications of what they need done. And this person is the person who looks at you and says, well, sorry, we picked somebody else for that job. Or, sorry, you won't be able to feed your family this week because, yeah, we're not going to pick you. We're not going to pay you. Is it war yet? At the very basis of economics is the control of resources. Resources which you need a certain degree of to live, whether it be food, shelter, water. It used to be that people would roam the lands in this nation or this continent rather, and they would follow the herds, the hunter gatherer lifestyle, right? Then several Europeans came over and took what they had, shipped them off somewhere, and then decided that, hey, if you need anything from us, after we've taken the resources from you, after we've killed your families and wiped out your own, you know, bloodlines, and yeah, yeah, go ahead. We're even going to give you a place called a reservation, right? And they did this. These people who didn't have to pay anybody to go hunt a bison or an elk or even a coyote. They didn't have to pay anybody to eat those. Now, you have to pay the government for a hunting license or a fishing license to get yourself food out of the water or out of the land. Guess what? If you take fruit and stuff from land that isn't yours, there's a chance you'll be arrested at gunpoint for trespassing. Is it war yet? If you are held at gunpoint, threaten to have everything that you love and hold dear taken from you. No, no, no. Let's say we take all the material things out of it. If someone threatens your life, your children, you generally get angry. You generally want to do something to harm them, right? You want to do what you can to protect your family, your livelihood, whatever you quote unquote own. You want to be able to protect your own life. But without this thing we call money, you have nothing. Is it war yet? The basis of economics is war.